Hello, long time no see. Welcome back to another video. Sadly, I lost the audio, but I look cute, so I'm not gonna delete it. Look at that glowing skin. Anyways, one of my friends who I've never met before challenged me to make two Wayne Rooney posters and his amazing bicycle kick that really just defies the description. So this is me handling all the challenges, doing research work, some digital work, cutting it out of my Cricut, and then ultimately putting it together. I made several mistakes, and I hope that this video can inspire you to make your own posters. Also, these magnets are still available on my store, and I made this cute little design using Canva. The SVG is also available in case you're a Cricut user or a plotter machine user and want to make your own. So without further ado, let's get going. Also, if there's a 10% chance that Canva is watching, I love you, Canva, please sponsor me. Bye. I wanted to start off by showing my mood board or things that I've tried already. This is the metallic vinyl that I ordered online, along with glow-in-the-dark vinyl. I thought it would add a lot more to the poster than just plain vinyl. These are some initial drafts that I tried using my Cricut machine. I love the idea of cutting 10 or the logo from the poster, but later I realized that since my poster is about 15 inches, it won't be possible. And also the fact that I wanted a stronger back. Another thing that I realized during this whole process is there are different kind of blacks. Did you know that there are different kind of blacks? Some black stock paper is also called virgin stock paper, and there are others who have a white core while others have a black core. Apparently the black core ones are the virgin ones. I mean, you learn every day, don't you? I think having a graphic design degree is helping me so much to understand the software better, to understand the colors better, and also since I do a lot of branding, I understand my audience better. For this one, for example, it's a guy who is a sports fan, and I think he would not appreciate something that's much more cartoonish or overly creative, imaginative things. I think sportsmen like something that's much more bold, strong, and it has some sort of emotion coming out, which is either the winning spirit or something that's anger, or some Virat Kohli type of poster. So I decided to give him two options, one being a minimalistic one and another being a maximalistic one, and I wanted to make it as a magazine cover, okay, something that he's proud of, that also glows in the dark. I thought that added a really nice touch to the entire poster. Okay, I'm really excited for you to see how the poster comes out, so make sure to watch until the end, because there's so many tips in this video that if you're a Cricut beginner, it will really benefit. Even on a design project, a graphic design project, or on a Cricut project, I follow my same structure, I guess, or phases. My first phase is the research phase. I wasn't really aware of who Wayne Rooney was, so I made sure that I watched most of his interviews. I connected with him a little bit more, and I understood what his personality is. Searched more sports type posters on Pinterest, all of that. I narrowed down to the basic colors I needed. Of course, there was a waiting process since I did not have all of these vinyls or everything in stock, but until I waited, I actually came up with a couple designs digitally on Canva or even on any other software, that whatever you're comfortable on, and I shared that with the client. What I've realized is what you design digitally versus what comes out as a 3D poster or as a 3D thing with Cricut has It's so much different, you know. Cricut makes sure that everything is industrial level, and that's what I love about Cricut. That you don't have to really go anywhere. Everything that you create, your artwork, is right from your workshop, and everything is controlled by you. And it's not, your mistakes are not going to cost you any money. Yes, you might waste some paper, some vinyl, but in the end, that's a learning curve. Back to my phases. The first phase is research phase. I don't be afraid of looking at, you know, inspiration and getting close to the inspiration. I don't exactly copy any of my inspiration, but I try to get inspired and have my own twist onto it. So that's phase number 1. Phase number 2 is designing. Phase number 3 is, of course, sourcing, because you are the one who's sourcing everything and deciding what materials, what colors would go together. Sourcing takes the maximum time for me. I like to go to my local stores. I like to even travel far. I like to check my own stand. I like to check online, wherever I get the best price. That's where I am sourcing it from. I also am not the person who likes to buy in bulk, so it actually costs me more. I'm not a bulk person. I really am not. I'm much more of a minimalistic person, to be honest. I want minimalist supplies. I like to run out of things. I like to see things getting completed or me utilizing everything. So that's phase 3, I think. Phase 4 would be cutting. My phase 4 is when I have everything ready, I size it up into my design space, and then I cut everything at once. So for the 2 posters, I did cut everything together, but I ended up redesigning my second poster in this video, so you will see that as a separate. So here in the video you can see the devil looking handsome and shiny, and now we're getting to, and I'll read it out, and now we're gonna read the glow in the dark vinyl. It's a really satisfying read. It's a really satisfying read. If you want link to all of this will be available in my description if you want to get the same things. Of course, I'm based out of India, and if you're watching somewhere abroad, then I think mostly you would get a lot better things, I guess. But yeah, search on Amazon. Amazon is the best place, I guess. This is the part where I got really nervous, because once it's on the board, there's no coming off, and then I have to repeat the process again. So I wanted to find the middle of the whole poster and paste it there, and then go on to building my layers. As you can see, really absolutely nervous. Everything has to be straight. The poster has to be straight. The vinyl has to be straight. The devil has to be straight. Everything. And then peeling off is also a task, to make sure that nothing from the poster, no fibers, no paper from the poster comes off. And this is why I love the virgin black paper, because it was sturdy. It was the paper that I'm using here is close to 400 GSM on the back, and then behind it, later in the video you'll see I also added a foam board. By the way, foam board cuts incredibly with Cricut. Like, that's a big tip for you guys. If you want some sort of like dimension into your artwork, foam board is the best. It cuts beautifully with Cricut. I cut it with the knife blade, and it took only about 3 or 4 passes, and it cut really nice. I'll show you later in the video. Here, after the weeding process, I'm using some parchment paper to align my typography as it's gonna go over the logo. And you can see I'm nervous about this part. I keep going back and forth, and I'm also using a scale to get it perfect. And just because the typography is also slanted, it's really difficult to know what is straight and what is slanted. Ultimately, I got through it, and luckily the vinyl is really forgiving. Okay, and yeah, I was able to get it on there. That looks good. So again, happy with this. And now I'm gonna show this poster off to you as a reel that I've posted. Enjoy. Okay, new day, another poster. By this time, my vinyl from Cricut had also arrived. The silver one that you see on the screen. That one is an adhesive foil. So with the adhesive foil and the glow in the dark, along with our metallic red, we're gonna use the same color scheme, just add a little bit of spark. I felt like it was missing that. So with our maximalistic poster, I wanted to make the devil glow in the dark so that he's awakened in the dark, like some sort of that kind of vibe. And for this, I chose a chipboard. Chipboard, in my opinion, is not the best option for Cricut to cut, but I wanted to give it a try. I applied some glow in the dark on the chipboard, and I also received this 12x24 mat, which I'm going to be using for the first time. I got 2 of these mats, like 2 packets, and inside those 2 packets there are 2 each, so in total I have 4 of those mats. And this was the first time that I was using my knife blade. Knife blade isn't the most easiest to work with. With knife blade, you need to operate from your laptop. On iPad, you don't get the option to use the knife blade. Make sure to tape all the corners of the chipboard. Okay, in this next segment, I wanted to talk to you about the Cricut knife blade. This little guy is actually a game changer, and I really enjoy cutting with this blade. It can cut balsa wood, chipboard, mat board, and even leather. Pretty cool, right? But before you get too excited, there are a few things to keep in mind. First off, this blade is only compatible with the Cricut Maker 3 or the Cricut Maker. So if you're using a different machine, it won't work. Secondly, and most importantly, your blade always goes in clamp B. Okay, clamp B is for the blade. Now, like me, if you're using the blade for the first time, the machine is gonna ask you to calibrate it. Unlike the print and cut calibration, this calibration is pretty quick. You don't need to print out anything. It's just gonna ask you to load a normal paper on a mat, and it's gonna cut a couple lines and then go over those lines again. And whichever line matches, for example with me, the first one matches the best. Others were a little off or a little under, and that's what I mentioned, and it was done. Initially I thought the star wheels are something that's on the blade, but it's the white thing. The white thing needs to be moved to the right, okay? and if it's not moved to the right, it's gonna keep giving you errors and it's not gonna do well. This is what happened with me with chipboard. I wasn't happy, but when I switched it to foam board, I was really happy. Another thing that I wanted to mention was that please do not use your knife blade or any blade or your Cricut machine to cut acrylic sheets. Acrylic sheets are designed to cut by laser cutters or laser cutting machines. Cricut is not designed for that. It could really ruin your machine, it could ruin your blade, and yeah, please do not try. Nothing, only engrave with acrylic sheets, that's it. Okay, do not try to cut it, please. And one more thing that I forgot to mention was that this blade only works via your computer. On iPad or your mobile, the feature isn't there, but you can only operate or assign this onto your project using your computer. Okay, now back to my project. Okay, after cutting my devil from the glow-in-the-dark vinyl on foam board, I decided to cut a huge typography that would go in the background, and I also wanted to do some sort of layering in the background as well, adding texture, and I also wanted to use my silver adhesive foil that I got from Cricut. I pasted the silver vinyl or the adhesive foil onto the foam board, and then I'm using it right now as a template to stick Wayne Rooney. The reason I did this is I wanted his name to stand out a little bit, and while also creating dimension in the background. And the glue that I'm using is B7000. I like this glue because it gives me the wiggle room. It dries a little bit later, so it gives me some more time to readjust. But this glue is definitely a lifesaver. It can stick anything to permanent. So far it was looking really nice, and now was the last part. This I tried to fussy cut it just because I couldn't use the print and cut feature. The Rooney picture was way bigger than the print and cut size, so I had to do that manually. I left it to dry for about 24 hours, and once I was back, I was really happy with the result. It was permanently there. This glue, that's why I love this glue, it's permanent. You won't believe I've stuck my inset net onto my window with this glue, and it won't come off. It's even better than the Velcro. I went on to doing more vinyl work on the poster along with the Wayne, and now comes another mistake. I don't know why I decided to use foam double-sided. It did not look premium in the end, so I went ahead and printed another one of these. And if you've worked with foam board, you know that foam board is expensive. So I had to do the process one more time just because I wasn't happy with how the double-sided tape was looking, and plus it wasn't giving me a lot of dimension either. So what I would recommend is to stick foam sheet instead of foam tape. You see how the layering isn't looking too good? Yeah, it wasn't looking good. But look at these two posters, and now all I had to do is just stick the foam board in the back and then add the Wayne Rooney bicycle kick onto the poster while adding a lot of dimension onto it, so that is the first layer, then devil is the second layer, and at the back we have, you know, the silver vinyl and the neon vinyl. I left it to dry for I think one more day. Cut it out using my precision hand knife. Foam boards are really easy. They have two papers and a little bit of foam in the middle. So if you go over it twice, they cut proper. Do tell me in the comment section below if you like them, if you think that I missed out on something, if you have some more ideas that I could have added. I would love to hear from you, honestly. But this is it, you guys. Thank you for staying and watching the entire video. I really enjoyed having you. Honestly, I'm just obsessed with this poster. Really obsessed. I showed it to my client and he ended up liking both of these posters, and so now both of these posters are commissioned and paid for, and I just have to ship them. So really, I mean, sometimes you're nervous about some things, but they turn out to be really amazing. 2 future videos that are in line are about my travels to Bombay. I went to Bombay, you guys, and I did my first collab ever with this stationery craft store called Jack's India. I had the opportunity to see their warehouse. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I have the entire vlog coming up. I met some amazing people. So if you want to see those, watch those, do subscribe and like and hit the bell icon and whatever. But this is it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay crafty, you guys. Bye bye.